Imagine telling the world you're closing your wallets, then spending that money instead on going to see a movie on a rolling billboard that is attached to a rolling dump truck. That is what a few Snyder Bros decided to do on July 11th, the release date of James Gunn's and DC Studios' Superman. Now, I admit, for a number of months I made fun of these people because of their ridiculous and asinine movement of wallets closed, but this was pretty much the most ridiculous and asinine thing that I ever saw, and I'm not even joking. So, as you see, on July 11th, or maybe you saw on July 11th, the Snyder Bros decided to waste their money and put a billboard on a recycled or an old garbage truck and very largely put the Lethal Geeks podcast logo on this truck, as well as a few hashtags such as Wallets Closed, Henry Cavill Superman, and Restore the Snyderverse. And then on the side, they put some moving pictures of what the Snyderverse could have been, as well as some videos of Henry Cavill stating that he was back as Superman, and so on and so forth. Now, this was the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever seen in the entirety of this Snyder Bros movement. It really was. I mean, think about it. A new Superman movie's coming out. Fans, would they say they're fans of DC? Instead of supporting DC, instead of cheering for DC, they are going out on the street, wasting their money, and putting a giant billboard for another podcast who says this is for artistic integrity, which they don't mean that. They say this is about Zack Snyder, but no. You take a look at this. Look at this thing. Look how big their logo is here. And then look how small the hashtags are. Look how tiny the Superman logo is in the corner there. And then you have Henry Cavill Superman. He's looking at the logo like, yeah, guys, look at this. This is what this is a billboard for this podcast right here. This had nothing to do with Snyder. This had nothing to do with Henry Cavill. This had nothing to do with Wallets Closed. This had everything to do with spending other... I guess there was a GoFundMe for this. I hope all those people will request their money back, because this billboard was the Lethal Geeks promoting themselves around New York City is what it was. That's pathetic. That is pathetic. Look, the Release the Snyder Cut movement was honorable. Sure, there were some bad eggs in there during the time, getting upset and throwing fits here and there. But at least when they did something, they raised money for AFSP. They sat there and pushed for artistic integrity, pushed for the movie to be released. And then when it came out, and then when it was coming out, then they continued. The Us United hashtag started. And they continued to raise money for AFSP, continued to hold events. And you know how I know that happened? Because I was part of it. But here's the kicker. Do any of you know who I am from it? No. And do I care about that? No. You know why I don't care? It's because that wasn't what it was about. It was about raising the money for AFSP, celebrating the fact that Zack Snyder's Justice League was released. That's what Us United was about. That's what all of it was about. It's not about this. It's not about putting your name and your brand as big as you can on this billboard. That's absurd. That is absolutely absurd and disgusting. But I digress. What else is disgusting is that they did this. They literally did this on July 11th, the day that Superman came out. Like I said, these are supposed to be fans of DC. These are supposed to be fans of everything Superman. But instead of celebrating that there's a new movie coming out, that there's a new universe coming out, they're mad because, well, Henry Cavill's not Superman anymore. They're mad because Zack Snyder's not there anymore. They're mad because James Gunn is directing a Superman movie, or he directed a Superman movie. I mean, how were these people growing up in life? I mean, were they spanked? I hope they were spanked. I'm guessing they were never spanked. They probably were just given everything they wanted. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? Like, it's pathetic. It's disgusting. Like, and from what I understand, these lethal geeks are like in their 50s and 60 years old. I don't know. I don't even know them. Like, I've had some conversations on social media with them, and they just seem like complete imbeciles and complete brats. And I don't know how old they are. I don't know. I don't care either. I tried to have a conversation with them. I offered, but they don't want to talk. And I can see why. Because of stuff like this. Because they are disgusting. They are legitimately disgusting. This is ridiculous. And anybody who put money into this, I think, should demand it back from them. They should absolutely demand it back from them. First off, it's stupid that you did this and you put money into this. But like I said, did you sign up for their logo to be the main? Like, look how big that is. More than a quarter of the size of the freaking thing. Like, come on. That's ridiculous. But look, you play stupid games, and this is what you get. Regardless, this whole thing went out with a whimper. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Oh, but Slav, you're making a video about it, so obviously somebody cared, right? No, nobody really cared. You want to know why I'm making a video about it? You really want to know why I'm making a video about it? Because I'm giving you all an opportunity right now to just own up to the fact that Superman had a successful opening weekend. That, you know what? Perhaps it's time to close the chapter on the Restore the Snyderverse. I think this is time. You do something like this. You have a hashtag movement online. It didn't trend, guys. It didn't trend. Not at all on the 11th. Not a single tweet trended on X. I know I saw somebody trying to like share things like, look, it's trending, and it had like 2,000 tweets or whatever. That's not trending. No. Nobody's going to pay attention to 2,000 tweets. So, look, that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up, because I think it's time that people just sit back and say, you know what? All these people freaking out, look, it's time to move on. If you don't want to watch the new DCU, then don't. But acting like children, if you're in your 50s and 60s, like, this is pathetic. Move on. Go watch your Snyder trilogy. Go watch your old DCU. Go watch Batman Returns and Batman Forever. Go watch whatever you want. You don't need to watch the DCU. Like, you don't have to. We're not missing you. Not missing you at all. Made plenty of money. Not missing you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, though. Love to hear what you have to say about this. Like I said, it's pretty pathetic. You can check out the article over at slavsfreetalk.com to see everything that transpired that day. But with all that said, guys, I will catch you all later.